Nick Baldwin for BuddyEbo.com here with a UFC lightweight fighter who takes on Dan Moret at UFC Minneapolis on June 29th. It is Jared Flash Gordon. Jared, appreciate you taking the time. We're here in Prior Lake, Minnesota. LFA 68 just wrapped up. You had 5 teammates on the card, 3-2 overall. Of course, things didn't go Nate Gentleman's win in the main event, but Mike Baker Rhodes picked up a nice win. You had Roffrey and Stotts in the co-main event, and you had JP St. Louis as well, Craig Eckelberg being the other who fell short. What did you make of the card? What did you make of your teammates' performances, and how did it all go from your point of view?
I would say we had a fairly successful night. Craig, unfortunately, got DQ'd in a fight that I think was pretty even. He won the first round. The second round was kind of going the other guy's way, and then Craig threw an illegal knee, which barely touched the guy, and the guy basically quit because he was pretty much gassing. So I think he took the easy way out. But you live and learn. Roth, 12-1 now, picked up a great win over a savvy veteran. Big E got back in the win column. JP, 2 rear naked chokes in a row. Nate, unfortunately, fell short to a really tough Brazilian who is 12-1 now. And, it's just the game. MMA is a game of inches, and anything could happen. Just when you think it's going your way, things tend to slip away. But that's just the way it is.
You drove in today to corner your teammates. You were talking off air a bit, and of course, 5-hour drive, not always the most fun. But was it kind of cool? I mean, because now you're coming into Minneapolis to corner your teammates, and literally in a month, almost to this day, you'll be making essentially the same drive for your own fight.
Yeah, well, luckily the UFC's flying us, so I don't have to take a 5-hour drive. But it's a boring ride, but it was beautiful. It was like 90 degrees today, which was weird. But for your team, you got to do what you got to do, and I'm here, and I'm happy with what the guys did tonight.
You're taking on Dan Moret, as I said off the top, on this Minneapolis card. Did you know much about Dan when you got the call? Since then, have you looked into him a little bit more? What do you make of him?
I actually remember when he made his debut against Gilbert Burns, because I'm friends with Gilbert, but I didn't hear much about him after that. And I did see his second fight in the UFC where he took on Alex White, fell short there also. He's 0-2 in UFC, but I'm not looking past him. He's a tough guy. He's got a good amount of fights. He's fought some tough dudes. He beat some tough guys, and I'm doing everything I can to win, and that's what I'm going to do.
You've come short in your last couple outings. Because of that, is this a bit of a must-win for you?
I don't really want to feed into that, to be honest. I go out there, I put on a show, and I mean, my last fight I got the bonus in, fight of the night, and I was winning every round of that fight, and then I tore my hamstring, and they even sent me the round, the judges scoring, and I was even winning in the third round with a torn hamstring. So I mean, yeah. I mean, every fight is a must-win in the UFC or anywhere you go, So I'm going in there, and I'm going to do everything I can to get the win.
Were you sidelined a little while because of that hamstring? How long did you have to sit out?
It took me about 2 to 3 months to start getting really active again, but I almost had a full tear in my hamstring, so they thought I was going to need surgery. Luckily, I didn't, but I was sidelined for a little bit.
Okay. How long have you been fully recovered? A few months, I guess?
It took me about 2 months to really get going again. So I've had a good 4 or 5 months of tough training, hard training. So I've been good for a while.
Have you thought about those 2 losses and thought what went wrong? Do you know what went wrong? What you can change to sort of get back on track?
Yeah, I mean my first loss came to Diego Ferreira. I mean, it was a weird fight. I got kicked in my nuts twice in the first minute. I also fought injured. I almost cut my finger off due to a street fight that I had, so I fought injured. I should have pulled out of the fight, and didn't go my way. Then my second loss in the UFC, I was clearly winning the fight. I was clearly showed that I was the better fighter. I tore my hamstring, and the fight didn't go my way. So I mean, I had to do what I got to do. Like I said before, MMA is a game of inches. Anything could happen. How could I have prepared for tearing my hamstring in a fight? I didn't know that it was going to happen. So, but I take everything in stride and do what I got to do.
Early prediction for this fight against Dan Moret. Still a month away, but how do you feel right now you get it done?
Honestly, I haven't even thought about it, man. Really, to be honest. I see it either going. Honestly, I don't even want to put any. I don't even want to put a prediction out there, to be honest. So.
Is it just too far away for that?
Not even that. I just like.
Not a prediction guy?
I'm not a prediction guy. Like, anything can happen in this game, and I predict that I'm going to win, though. That's what I will predict.
Jared, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next month.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.